Welcome to Flight Test. I'm Josh.
And I'm Eric.
And I'm Peter.
And you know what? We have the Foam Old Fogy, and it's been reborn, hasn't it?
Yeah, by someone else apparently.
Hobby King. You can say Hobby King.
Actually, it might not even be Hobby King. It could even be one of the sub Chinese companies.
It did look like the Hobby King logo was kind of like photoshopped onto the box.
So they may have just bought it from someone who just thought your plane was a cool design.
Yeah, but long story short, Foam has wonderful assets, but also a lot of drawbacks too. And we're gonna go ahead and put these up in the air and see how they compare. That was one. Now here's the funny thing, there's a little bit of size difference between the Old Fogy and the Mariposa, but there's a little bit of size difference, but there's a huge power difference. I'm flying off of our now to be released B Power Pack, which will fly the FT Flyers, the 3-packs, the Old Speedster, the Fogy, the Simple Soar. That is now, if you're watching this video, been released. But yours is flying our C Pack, which flies our Spitfires, our Bigger Birds, and a 2250 in yours.
So what's the weight difference between the Balsa and the Foam?
I think almost a pound.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
so it's pretty considerable.
Are you trying to hit me?
No, to get close.
I can't believe the Foam weighs that much more.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, when it gets wet.
Oh man. Now we had a lot of great input with the Old Fogy, and this has actually changed so many different times. This was actually designed before. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm just letting a circle.
I like the wing waggle around a lot.
Your wing waggles?
Yeah. Mine maybe just a touch tail heavy.
You're
though.
waving at the crowd down here.
Hey, do you want to do a low pass? Let's see if we can form up a little bit. I'm flying a little heavier setup. You can go to a 2-cell indoors and really make this thing crawl. But I'm flying a much lighter or heavier setup here just to get that extra power outdoors here.
So the wing waggle is being caused by what, Peter?
I think just a little tail heavy. I had to push the nose down to get it to go stable.
Okay.
Tell them
gotcha.
about the
Flying a
battery
little
hatch
slow.
on this thing. You had a little bit of difficulty, huh?
The battery hatch, I don't know who designed it because I have fairly small hands, and I can't imagine the Chinese person to put this thing together because there ain't no place to put your hands in there.
That sounds kind of mean. You're saying they had small hands.
Really small hands because you got to take the wings off to get the battery in there. There ain't no way you're putting it through the
You have
hatch.
a lot more wing waggle than mine does.
Yeah.
Right now. That's kind of
you
surprising.
have under camera tips and stuff. This thing is a flat airfoil all around.
Yeah.
So it's just different than aerodynamics.
I feel like we're just flying circles. You want to do a loop or something?
Sure.
Something.
I did a loop on takeoff.
This airplane's so good at just flying circles, though.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they're meant for. They call it a trainer. We got to fly this once before. I don't think it's a trainer. I think this is an intermediate because some of the tendencies you have. Now the Fogy's been known as a trainer. The only thing with the Fogy is we have control throw recommendations. If you don't follow it, you're gonna have a squirrely ship.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you wanna fly it?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if I've ever flown this one.
You've never flown the Fogy?
I might have just at your house one time, just as a prototype years ago. But
You know what? I don't think I've ever flown it either. You wanna fly this, Josh?
Yeah, I wanna fly this.
Pass this along.
All right. It's like past the transmitter.
Yep.
I'm really shocked, Josh.
What's that?
Your plane is actually trimmed when you handed it to me. That's unlike you.
If you guys watch the build video of the Old Fogy, you'll see when we launch it, I put the transmitter on the ground and just let it fly away. One of the beautiful things about old timers is maybe not necessarily the Dutch roll that you usually get, but it's their inherent stability. They'll wobble around and wiggle all around, but they're inherently stable. So when you take your hands off the controls, you can just enjoy the experience.
And that's probably in part from the polyhedral wings.
Exactly.
Kind of keeps the wingtips stable.
Yeah, they always seem to be high wings too if you look at the old timer designs.
I remember your dad loved the Lanzo Bomber.
Oh, the Lanzo Bomber, the Buzzard Bombshell. A matter of fact, the Lanzo, whoa!
You guys are running each other.
The Lanzo Bomber, the Buzzard Bombshell, and the Brooklyn Dodger.
That was unintentional, by the way.
Oh, sure it was. Are all mashups of what the Old Fogy is.
Yeah.
And you know what really excites me is a lot of people have built it, but we always talk about our foam planes. They're somewhat disposable. You know, you're gonna get them beat up and stuff, and then you get do the whole experience. Where the Mariposa is about $90 without electronics. It's a steep jump, but you do get the beauty of balsa wood.
Yep. And plus it'll probably fairly last a little bit longer.
It's gonna last a lot longer.
You can fly in the rain and all that.
Boy, it really pitches up.
Yeah. Powerpack Seat does a pretty good job pulling that thing around though.
Yeah, we have a lot of different designs. They're all foam board right now, but we recently discovered a new software called DevFuse. And for about 15 bucks cheaper than the kit of the Mariposa, you can actually take existing designs like the Old Fogey, the Speedster, any of our foam board designs and anyone else's, and take those profile views and turn it into a balsa wood kit yourself. And either print out the plans or laser cut the plans and have a beautiful balsa wood kit that'll last you a long time.
And so that actually does the formers and the whole 9 yards when you just take the profile, right?
A matter of fact, I'm working on a new version of the Speedster that's probably going to be called the Sportster, which has ailerons and a symmetrical airfoil. And we're working on a 10-foot version of that.
Oh,
really
wow.
to blow it up big. It took me about 2.5 hours to design the fuselage.
Yeah, I saw
beautiful
that.
contours.
When you brought that thing was crazy.
Hey, do you want to put it in for a landing?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I forgot how much airplanes you can actually look away for a second. So use the helicopters, nice. You can't take your eyes off of those.
Now, a lot of you guys may be wondering what's the difference in builds with this. This took me about 30 minutes to frame up and then put the electronics in, so maybe I had about an hour into it total. How long did yours take?
Mine took approximately about 2 hours or so.
That's not bad.
Yeah, mainly because for a lot of these things, like, we use hot glue all the time for film, right?
Yeah.
But for some of these, you want to use epoxy, like the wings. The wings themselves, there's basically 2 ply parts you just slide together. You want to use some sort of epoxy on that, and that's why I used.
And the fit was very nice, but you found something that you wanted to brace up a little bit more. What was that?
Well, you know how plywood it really is, right? It's ply going in one direction, laminated going in the opposite direction, where you just cross the grain.
Yeah.
Not really cross the grain, but you know what I mean.
You should have on plywood, you should have a 90 or at least a 45 degree cross grain in there. I think they filled their plywood with sponge in the middle.
Yeah, they probably used water as a glue, because I got this far and I was like, this is hilarious, because you can just twist it and the whole thing is flaking and delaminating, like all the single individual segments are coming off, so that was like complete trash. I just glued it back together and stuck it in there.
Yeah, now a way to fix that is take some thin CA, float it in there, and then use like a C-clamp or something and re-cure it with some harder glue.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And that'll make all the difference, but you do not want to rely on flimsy spars. If you ever get a kit, whether it's Hobby King or wherever it's from, make sure that your spars are in really good shape. Even if you have to trace out and recut it, make it out of aluminum. A lot of people are doing that. Make sure your spars are strong, because if you just rely on the strength of the rib,
it's gonna pull up.
And the top and bottom spars, yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, but other than that, it was a pretty straightforward build.
Well,
Didn't take a lot.
The build quality looks amazing on this. The monocoat job, whoever monocoats these or covers these, does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, that's an art form to say the least.
Yep. I'm not a fan of the trim scheme, but the actual monocoating job itself is pretty nice. My other gripe right here is this. Look at the elevator. That's all the down deflection you get.
Now with foam board, you can simply sand the bevel a little bit more, but this is a monocoat hinge.
And they don't give you no monocoat in that package.
No, they don't.
So you're gonna have to cut that and then recover. But I decided to test it as is.
You had a similar problem with the rudder, but you didn't need as much of a deflection, right?
Yeah. So the rudder moves just a little bit, but that's enough rudder deflection for a normal airplane anyway. So we're okay there.
Now, if you guys have noticed, this tail is majorly bigger than this one. And actually, if you bought the kit recently, this tail is about 1.25 inches taller. And last year at Flight Fest, a lot of people recommended, hey, make your tail a little bit taller. It made a huge difference. So if you're getting any recent kits, this tail is a little bit bigger, but they had to go really extreme on this one. Reason being is this turtle deck here is covered. Where on this Old Fogey, as the air passes through this, you actually still have some prop blast going through it. And that's very important to keep your rudder control, but we only fly with about a 1/4 inch throw. And that's pretty much the same with this one as well too, isn't it?
Yep, that's about right.
Friends, I want to thank you for watching. Also, look for some future episodes on the DevFuse, Profile Wings, DevWing. We're going to be covering that because we really want you guys to go from flying to engineering to building to sharing and getting other people in the hobby. And these designs fly just as good in balsa form as they do in foam form. And we want to see a lot of people have the tools to create more models.
And even those, so like maybe not even balsa. I mean, you guys should try experiments with other things, maybe even fiberglass. It'd be cool to see fiberglass, FD Spitfire, something weird like that.
Or cardboard.
Cardboard, yes.
We're just scratching the surface of what this hobby can do with the materials you can use and the techniques you can use. And we look forward to exploring every one of them with you. We'll see you next time.